Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. So for all of my clients I have, both local and national, I check on their health and their website traffic at least twice a week. And for one of my clients, their big national brand, I caught an early problem that the technical crawls did not catch. Within Google Search Console, I noticed a traffic drop. Today is November 25th, and you would expect with Thanksgiving coming up, maybe traffic might drop. But for them, this happened a week early. So I knew something was wrong, and I want to walk you through how I went about this issue and then, of course, the rebound that we are seeing, which is most important. So to start, what they had was a soft 404. Basically, the best way to think about a soft 404, if you're not sure what that means, is that it's almost like if you go to a library and you ask the librarian if there's this book, and they go, yes, it's available. And then they give you a book, and as you open it, there's no words on the page. You're kind of like, I don't know what I'm looking at. And the librarian's like, oh, no, like that's the book. Like, now there's no real content there. That's how Google and also Bing describe what a soft 404 is. So it kind of looks like the thing you're looking for, but it doesn't really contain the elements like the HTML content. Therefore, it gets removed from the index because it's a soft 404. Now, for my client, what I did was I went to Google Search Console again. I saw that initial traffic drop, and I said, I'm just curious, what is happening with this page? Maybe we lost ranking. So I went to one of our top performing pages, and I saw that complete drop off, and I said, okay, that's really weird. So then the next thing I did was I went to Google Search Console, and I went to the live test within the page, and it came back with URLs not available to Google. It's a soft 404. What Google has, which I really like, is that they allow you to see what Google sees via the HTML crawl. So I looked at it and said, okay, that's weird. Again, that library example, it's like the content that's there does not match what's on the page. It looks like a 404. So I was like, okay, obviously Google is not going to index this. What I did next is I went to the index report within Search Console. I said, okay, this is just a one-off page. What about the rest? I noticed the same trend starting on, really, it's actually November 16th, but so much happened November 15th. All these pages, soft 404, soft 404, soft 404. It made me realize that, okay, there's something that's definitely going on. These pages are being removed now by Google, which is going to impact our traffic, which is a problem. The next step I did was, okay, this is a Google issue. I know for them, Bing for them is less than 10% of their overall traffic. I think it's something like 6% or 7%. So it's not the biggest thing, but I thought, okay, well, if Google's having a problem, let me go into Bing. I did the same test, same URL, came back, URL cannot be indexed by Bing. Okay, got it. Then I did another test too. Same thing, same error. I also then went into the crawl and index report, same issue, 404s via the soft 404 message. Okay. So I identified the problem and said, okay, Google is removing pages, thus it's going to reduce the traffic potential for my client. This is a major thing we have to fix, especially before the holidays. So the steps I did to fix it. So obviously, as I mentioned, I have technical crawls on a weekly basis for all of my clients, but I also manually check in either their analytics or their Google Search Console just to make sure there's no obvious drops. And that was actually the case. It caught my eye. Next, I ran the site through Screaming Frog. It's a third-party tool, and also Sitebulb. It's another tool that I have. It's a third party. And I was looking to see, okay, from a technical standpoint, what's happening? I was looking for canonical errors, no index tags, maybe broken internal links, maybe an error within the sitemap. None of those issues existed, which was, kind of surprising because I thought, okay, well, there's a traffic drop and there's soft 404s, but these tools are not picking it up. Then I asked my client to send me over their master HTACCESS file. So about 2 weeks prior, we were talking about, hey, we need to fix this duplicate issue that we have on the site. It's causing Googlebot and also Bing Bot to crawl many versions of every page. Even though there's the right canonical, we have to have just one version. The way that the HTACCESS was set up for this master redirect was actually causing this soft 404. Now I don't have access to the HTACCESS file, but when I got the script, I actually put it into ChatGPT and I said, try to decipher this. Let me understand. Can this cause soft 404s? It actually was. We went through and then we removed it. Now with the removal of that within the HTACCESS file, our traffic, as I go back up to the very beginning, is rebounding, which is great. So it's this part over here. We are getting that rebound effect. That is good. But this is still not the permanent fix. So for my client, I've always let them know, hey, like this is better than obviously having like 95% of our pages removed. But it's still not going to allow us to hit our traffic potential. But overall, though, this is a much better spot to be in. We'll fix the HTACCESS file at some point, probably in December. But for now, we caught the issue and their traffic's going to rebound. And just to kind of put this in further context, SEO makes up about 40 to 50% of their overall traffic summary and sales. So a lot of times when I talk to potential clients, they'll ask me, hey, what's the value of having you on, like on a monthly basis? It's actually for this. Keeping an eye on your account, obviously making changes, either adding landing pages, schema markup, whatever we need to do from a continuous standpoint, but also making sure we're keeping an eye on rankings on a daily basis, technical crawls, and also traffic patterns. If anything is in the anomaly, we can spot it. We can try to figure out what the problem is, and we can fix it. Because ultimately, if this went on, let's say for another week or two, traffic would have been down by 90%. All of a sudden, that would have been a major issue. It would have missed projections and would have probably caused us to run more Google ads to make up that traffic. Basically, not a good thing. So, anyway, that's the video. I hope this maybe sparks some ideas what you guys can do for your account. Keep an eye on it. Let me know if you have any questions. And as always, have a good rest of your day.